So today's game had a very kind of weird like situation that happened towards the end of the game, and not that this really means much in the grand scheme of things, but I do want to talk about it a little bit. And if you guys enjoy this, subscribe. We're trying to 29.5k by the end of the day, and we are like 85 off. I don't know how we're 85 off, but we're only 85 off. But we're going to be talking about Angel Reese, and we're going to be talking about a kind of interaction that she had with Diamond Shields towards the end of the game. So,
a little bit
if you guys
teams try
sorry, I do apologize for the audio right there. So, if you guys did not see during the game, Diamond Shields basically she body checked Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is cutting baseline, gets body checked by Diamond Shields. Off the ball foul, normal foul, nothing. Blatant foul. Like, you can literally see her arm extend. She it was a kind of body check, hard bumping the cutter. But you can see how Caitlin Clark's trying to get around her. And if you push somebody off with your arm in that scenario, especially off the ball, it's going to be a foul. Especially when you see the sideline ball right there. Actually, maybe that was not it. But, like, 30 seconds earlier, you kind of like body checked her almost going by you. Common foul. This is a common foul. It is what it is. Nothing in it. But then, this right here. This interaction. And look, I get this. This is a de-escalating on the teammate situation. Because I don't hate this. I don't think this is the biggest deal in the world, but I do think it's something that like opens up a discussion. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think there's worse things that Angel Reese has said in the last 24 hours. Like, I don't really care about these awards. I just want to win. And then going and getting your double-double on third stringers. Like, that's the problem. But this is what she ends up saying right here to Diamond to Shields.
lane. Got Diamond to Shields with her third personal. Now it's starting to get
like, you can hear her loudly say, you know, she gets a different whistle. You can hear them say, you know, she gets a different whistle about Caitlin Clark. So there's just no way she believes this. Especially when her one steal in the game was her doing her best prime Paolo Maldini impression and intercepting a ball with her foot. She got a steal with her foot today. She might actually have a second steal, but I think her one steal was with her foot from a Caitlin Clark pass. Caitlin Clark had two of her passes kicked on back-to-back possessions that weren't called. Caitlin Clark got shoved multiple times, as in she's just dribbling the ball and players will just two hands into her chest. You know the way it is, like that kind of, like, not enough to push her, but like enough to kind of, okay, yeah, you're not moving. She gets hand-checked worse than everybody. Caitlin Clark has one of the weaker whistles in the W. I don't think she has the worst whistle in the W. I think Aaliyah Boston has the worst whistle in the W. Like, I've never seen a person get called for more phantom fouls. And I do have to give some credit to Angel Reese. Angel Reese does not have a good whistle. But that's just because she flings herself at people. I think she's gotten a lot of fouls that weren't fouls, but I think she's gotten fouled more times that weren't called than times she's gotten free throws while not being fouled. I think she's had a more bad than good as far as the whistle. But, like, you really can't be saying that. Your team have flagrantly fouled Caitlin Clark 4 times. 4 times. 4. You average 1 flagrant foul on her a game as a team. Your team, on this one player, the one player that everyone's saying, and the worst part is, none of them were questionable. None of them were questionable whatsoever. Every single one of them was a blatant flagrant. None of them were like, oh, maybe that wasn't a flagrant. And you might be saying, well, Caitlin Clark didn't get a flagrant for doing exactly what Angel Reese did. One Angel Reese thing was there was a lot more power in the Angel Reese one. I still think she was going for an emphatic block, but there was a lot more power in her one. And 2, she should have been called for the flagrant against Jordan Canada. That was a blatant flagrant. The referee did give her a good call. But like with the amount of BS that Caitlin Clark's been hit with this year, I don't really care. Like, she's gonna hopefully get some good calls. Some good calls like for her, considering how many BS calls she's had called against her so far this year. But yeah, this is. I wonder if this was a just de-escalation with her teammate. If it was all just de-escalation with her teammate, just like, oh, they're screwing us, they're like the refs are screwing us. When the reality was, I actually think as the game went on, there was a lot of BS on both sides. I think these refs were incompetent. I don't think they were bad. Like, they literally took 5 minutes to review a call where the ball was thrown to Demira Stantas. And I cannot stress this enough. Like, Mariah Jefferson threw the ball into Demira Stantas' hands. She caught the ball, and it was called as a reach-in foul. And it took 5 minutes. It's not as bad as the 5 minutes in the Connecticut Sun game, where the ball was tipped up and Breanna Mabry with no one anywhere near, just volleyball spiked the ball out of bounds. No one else anywhere near the ball, and it took 5 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. Like, when it comes to the referee, I don't think the referee made any difference in this game. I think early on in the game, I think the Fever were the team that got screwed more by the refs, but I do think in the second quarter, the Fever got maybe. I said in the first quarter, Fever had maybe 4 or 5 bad calls against them, and the second quarter, Fever had 4 or 5 maybe phantom. Like, Temi got away with a 4-step travel. There were some phantom fouls called in this game, so it was just badly refereed all around. But I can't stand this. Caitlin Clark gets a good whistle, because Caitlin Clark, genuinely, Caitlin Clark, gets one of the worst whistles. I don't think either of these players get good whistles, by the way. I'm not going to be out here and saying Angel Reese gets a good whistle either. I actually don't think she gets one. Like, I think if either of these players had the Asia whistle, they would live at the free throw line. But, yeah, it's a ridiculous statement to make, especially down 30. Especially down 30 on a blatant foul. Like, not even a, was this a foul, was this not a foul? On a absolute stonewall, blatant off-ball foul. Like, it's just not. And like, even if you're going to say that she's getting that, it's not a good time. At the same time, look, this was not her going publicly, which is obviously makes it better. She did not say it publicly. She did not, like, it was just team talking, and it just happened to get picked up by the camera. So, not the end of the world, but I do think a discussion needs to be had that, like, Caitlin Clark does not, just straight up, objectively, does not have a good whistle. She does not have a favorable whistle whatsoever. But I will say, neither does Angel Reese. Neither does she. Neither of these rookies have favorable whistles whatsoever.